Hi there, it's Karen with InspiredByGram.com. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my craft room. I'm announcing the September card club from Inspired by Gram. It is including the Nature's Harvest, and we will be using the Nature's Harvest bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies this month. And I'm going to show you all the product that is going to be featured here. So let's look at the stamp set. Love this stamp set just because this flower here in the state of Vermont is a staple along the side roads, especially the dirt roads where there's lots of foliage and wildflowers growing. Echinacea, coneflower, it's also called, and black-eyed Susans too. So love this, and I love every single one of those sentiments. We will be using every single stamp on Nature's Harvest Cling Stamp Set this month. The dies here, all the dies will be already cut for you, and they'll come to you in each of your kits. I'm using 3 different die sets. The main one here is called the Harvest Dies, and then I'm using the Scallop Contours and also the Ornate Frames. Ornate Frames is new in my craft room, so I thought I'd start using that one. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 die cuts that I will be using and showcasing in the cards here. So that is that one. And then we are going to be working with the Scallop lace trim. This comes in very vanilla. And this reminds me so much of my grandmother. She used to use so much of this lace trim in a lot of her crafts. And there's 10 yards on this bolt, so you'll get a full bolt of those. We are also going to be working with the brushed metallic adhesive back dots. These are fabulous. You can also color on them with your Stampin' blends if you wanted to do that. So you'll get a full packet of those. I'm also going to be working with the cork 12 by 12 paper. Now I'm going to show you on a couple cards I did use it, but you'll get the pieces, the measurements that are for each card, and love it. It feels like cork and it smells like cork. It's awesome, you guys. You can stamp on both sides if you want, but I'm using it more as an embellishment or a highlight on the card. The designer series paper this month is called Harvest Meadow, and you will receive a 6 by 12, and there's 12 sheets, and it's all double-sided, so lots of the vintage colors on one side, and then more of the bright bumblebee, calypso coral, and misty moonlight on the other side. So fabulous paper here. And then every month I send a printed color copy of the instructions, and my instructions include a supply list, measurements, DSP cutting, measurements, stamping, and assembly instructions. And then on the very back sheet are all of the supplies I used in that particular month's card club. And then the ink colors of choice for this month are Early Espresso, Crumb Cake, Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry. And then on one card I use some Stampin' blends, and you don't have to use Stampin' blends. You don't have to color it all because you'll see an option as well. But I used the Soft Succulent, Dark and Light, Crumb Cake, Dark and Light, and Calypso Coral, Dark and Light. And then finally, we gotta use some bling, and I've chosen the Wink of Stella this month as well. So those are all gonna be add-ons for you, and I'll have a special link to add on all the extra product if you wanted to do that. So let's take a look at each of the cards. Now, I did tell you I am going to be using Stampin' blends in one. So if you do not want to color them, this is simply stamped with Early Espresso ink, and you can see how I highlighted using the cork specialty paper here and the vintage look of the very vanilla, and see how those elements here really look really nice on these cards. Love the cards here. And then here's the matching envelope in Early Espresso. And then my second card design is a thank you card, and I used Berry Vanilla So you've got a very vanilla envelope, and on the inside is just a flower stamped in crumb cake with a highlight of the Designer Series paper. We will be stamping on the Scallop Contours die in crumb cake. And I did not show you the inside of this card, so let's open this one up too. And you can see how we'll be using Wink Stella on the inside of the card and the flowers too. Even if we do use the blends or your watercolor pencils or what have you, you can still add the Wink Stella. Here's a thank you card, more vintage. I used Blackberry Bliss and Bumblebee, and there's some little speckles there. And then again, I'll show you this one too. This is not stamped on the inside, so if you choose not to do that, you don't need to. This one is really fun. So you do not need the stamp set to create My Card Club, because this is a stamp in the set, but if you don't have the stamp set, you can sponge on here with Clipsal Coral, and I used Crushed Curry on this one because I wanted a little bit darker look. And see how the Wink Stella is on there glittery, so I'll show you how to do that. And I used the gold elements here, and there's some more of that bark paper, and I snuck in some of that lace trim down here, and we'll be tearing our sentiments on a majority of these cards. So here are two different cards, two kind of different looks depending on your blending and how you tear your paper. And then the final one, which I thought was kind of geared towards masculine. And if you didn't have the stamp set, you could maybe put birthday card, happy birthday or what have you. This is a good luck card, and it's in Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy, Early Espresso, and the Designer Series paper has that crumb cake look to it. All right, and then here are those nice little elements as well. We will add Wink Stella onto this foliage piece as well. So that is die cut. It will come already die cut for you guys. So that is my card club. If you want to register for card club, it will expire on September 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Daytime. And to receive the link, you can go to my website or email me at inspiredbygram@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my cards for September. Be well.